Here to discuss, Committee to Unleash Prosperity co-founder Steve Moore. Steve, I saw those charts on Wednesday night, and I thought that looks like some Steve Moore chartage. What do you want to hear out of the president more, whether it's tonight and in the coming days and weeks, in terms of the economic successes, but also what needs to be fixed and how he can talk about it?
Well, Dagan, great to be with you. And I think that this is a very strong economy right now. No question about it. And I think Trump has really made that case very forcefully that he took over a mess from Joe Biden and he's steadily fixed it. It takes time to fix it, but I've been in this town of Washington for 40 years. I've never seen a president shoot out the gate so quickly and fix things that were broken. And so that is a great story for Donald Trump to tell. I think he should acknowledge that people are angry because people like my wife are angry when they go to the grocery store and they're paying $25 for a steak or for other bananas and things like that have risen in price. But I would almost go back to what Ronald Reagan said in the early 80s. Unlike Trump's first year in his second term, Reagan's first year in office was very rocky. We had a terrible economy as he tried to dig out of the wreckage of Jimmy Carter. And what Reagan said was, stay the course, stay the course. Things are going to get better. And guess what? A few months after he started saying that, we had the biggest boom in American history. I think Trump should try that.
Steve, that's a really interesting point, because one of the things that you kind of hear, and this is natural in politics, but you've got a problem and there's this desire to do something, roll out a new program, declare an emergency or something like this.
Right.
With the Trump agenda, it seems to me, as an economist, I would say the best course is to stay the course. The big slugs of help have come through the big, beautiful bill and the deregulation. Let that happen and don't run the risk of getting in the way of it with something that turns into kind of a stimmy and, I don't know, you end up with more inflation or something. Steve, what do you think? Am I wrong?
No, you're 100% correct. And you're also especially correct on the fact that people will come up to me, Brian, in the street and they'll say, hey, Steve Moore, where's that big, beautiful tax cut? I said, well, wait, it's coming in 2 or 3 weeks. That's where it is. People are going to start to feel in January that they're going to see that there's less money withheld from their paycheck by Uncle Sam. And we estimate that's going to be about $1,500 to $2,000 a year for middle-class taxpayers. So, and then also, by the way, don't forget about no tax on tips, no tax on overtime. People are really feel the effect of that. And it's a good picture. If Trump is right, by the way, that we're going to bring in trillions of dollars of new investment from abroad, that's a gigantic stimulus for the economy. So look, you're not going to talk to everybody in the show, Brian, maybe except for Larry Kudlow, that is more bullish on the U.S. economy than I am. I think it's going to be a blockbuster for 2026. I really do.
And before we jump, the Office of Management and Budget, Russ Vought's office, 646 deregulatory actions this year, just 5 regulatory actions. That's a 129-to-1 ratio and more than $200 billion in cost savings. That's not money immediately in somebody's pocket, but it is stimulating those animal spirits that grow an economy and create prosperity. Steve Moore,
you're the best, Steve. Thank you, sir.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah, no, it's great. It's great stuff on the regulation, the pro-American energy policy, the tax cuts. It's all going to cause. I predict 4% growth next year.
The bull, Steve Moore. Thank you, sir. Good to see you.